right, 7:41, welcome back. As we all know, spring is right around the corner, and this is an extremely busy time of year when it comes to the real estate market. People will be getting their homes ready to put them on the market, and at the same time, people will be out and about looking at all the inventory ready to buy. And joining us today is America's top lifestyle expert, Mar Jennings. Good morning. Thanks
Brian.
for being here. All right, so we're going to talk real estate and getting those homes ready.
Absolutely.
Which is something many people don't keep in mind when they go to put that for sale sign on the front lawn.
Absolutely. And you know, these tips, as harsh as they might seem, or some of them might even seem pretty simple, we tend to fall short when it comes to actually delivering it. And it's all about your best return on your investment. So if you follow this, this will help assure that you get the best dollars on your investment.
Some tough decisions you make early on will benefit you on the other end.
Most definitely.
Benefit you hopefully with dollar signs. All right, so you're going to talk about a couple things people should keep in mind if they're ready to put the house on the market. The first one, depersonalize.
That's a big one, you know, and people think, oh, I'm going to make the bed, I'm going to take away, you know, the cereal from the countertops, but it goes far deeper than that. Something as simple as removing the evidence of even toothpaste from the countertops. That is an important one, and you want to make sure that when you go into a space that you're not looking at things that really represent a brand or something that is personal to that individual or that family. You want to avoid that because ultimately what you want to see is you want to see them in visualizing themselves in that home.
Exactly. They want their toothpaste on the vanity or their pictures on the table, that kind of stuff.
Correct. You want to create the illusion that it's very non-personal so they can inject their own style and elegance into the space.
All right, so keep that in mind. People may have to pack stuff away, but again, if it helps them sell the house, it's all worth it in the end.
Tuck it away. Tuck it away.
All right.
The second one is really just streamlining, and you want to, and this, I can't believe this because, you know, I spent all day out yesterday, and it happens over and over again, and there tends to be a lot of clutter, even if it's in the corner of a space. You want to get rid of it.
Like
and here's a perfect example, okay? So, you know, they kind of put things all in one area, but the problem here is that it takes away from the flow of the space and it distracts. It automatically brings your eye to that area, and that's what you want to avoid. You want your potential buyer to really look at the space and embrace, okay, the size of the room and not to distract from it at all.
All right, good to know. The next one, small, smart repairs. Explain.
This is a big one because we often think, oh, it's just a little repair, someone can fix that themselves. But it's ultimately those little repairs that become big issues.
Like
here's a perfect example. Here's a fence post, okay? So you know the fence is going to come down. There's going to be inspection. Do you want that to come up later? Go ahead and do those small repairs. If there's, you know, a broken light switch, if there's broken chip tile, those are the type of things that people hone in on and see it, and then it becomes like, okay, if this is not maintained, and this is the important part, because if they see something as small as that that's not maintained, they start questioning whether or not there are other issues.
Exactly. Not to mention people are very picky, so they want to see everything in good condition, basically.
Most definitely, most definitely.
All right, the next one, take inventory for the home and garden.
Yes, this one I love, and people tend to forget about it. We tend to say, oh, we have a washer and a dryer, and all these different items, but people forget about the landscaping investment. And here's a perfect example. You know, you have an arbor, you have peonies, you have lilacs, you have an extensive rose garden. Go ahead and document that information as well, especially when you're showing your house in the wintertime. These items are not available, so they can't be seen. So go ahead and take an inventory of such a thing as well. You know, the stone patio, all those different things make a big difference.
All those things, by the way, once the snow does well, which may be in August, but obviously make sure the yard is in good shape so that you can showcase those things to people coming to look at the home.
Definitely, definitely. I mean, you don't want patio furniture thrown upside down. I mean, these are the kind of things you want to think about. It is that how would a discerning eye dissect this area, whether it be indoors or outdoors? And, you know, it's interesting because at the Higgins Group, our professionals feel that, you know, it is our discerning eye that helps you come to terms with what is expected on what the buyer is, because we're dealing directly with all the the buyers, we're dealing with the sellers as well. So we help educate you along that. And it's tough sometimes, but you know.
It certainly is. All right, about a minute left. The other thing too, remove all signs of pets. And this is a big one because when my wife and I were looking at homes, we'd go in there and you could smell that they had a cat or a dog. And right away we were, you know, put off by it.
You know, first of all, and here's a perfect example. There's a lot of toys here. You know, one dog, a lot of toys. Is this necessary? So it's really not important to have such a big clutter. Again, it takes away from it. If you're going to have a pet, just make sure you address it. Sometimes people have fish or they have, you know, a hamster or a bird. Just make sure if that is going to be in the house, that it's neat, clean, and it doesn't smell.
Not to mention, I was going to say, if your animal's had an accident on one of the carpets, an area rug, get it out of there because people will notice as soon as they walk in your home.
They will zoom right into it.
All right.
And one last big one in reference to all the water damage going on right now.
Yes,
right?
the water damage. You know, that's the thing. As the snow starts to melt, there's going to be water damage. And if you're about to put your home on the market, that's the last thing you want to have to deal with.
Yes, Brian, that's a great question. And there's not much we can do about the flooding outside. You know, old man winter is just going to flood and there's going to be items that present itself. So these are things that we need to also be aware that if that water is migrating into your house, that's when it becomes a problem because not just water damage is visible. Clearly, people will hone in on that right away. But most importantly, that can become mold at a later date. And when that happens, now you're really dealing with a much bigger issue. So you want to address that right away and make sure that that's taken care of.
All right. Real quick, too, I just want to know for people out there, what are some of the key rooms someone will look at when they walk into a house to possibly buy, just so people are mindful of that?
You know, the key rooms are the common living spaces. You know, living room, dining room, kitchens are a big deal. Bathrooms are a big deal. So the first impression is when you walk in that door, but it always starts at curb appeal. And right now, that's challenging right now with curb appeal. But make sure that you have a clean entrance area to get you to the house. Once they walk in, it should be light, fresh, clean, and open, organized, tucked away. Fresh flowers always brings out a smile in people. And here's a personal note that I love. Put a little note on the refrigerator. Welcome to our home. We hope you enjoyed as much as we have. You know, send that little message. People like that.
Sometimes the smallest things have the biggest impact.
Absolutely. So. You got to love that.
All right, Mark, thank you so much. A lot of great advice. I appreciate it. Now, for more information on anything we just talked about, all you have to do, go to our website, WTNH.com, pull down the On-Air tab, and then go to the Good Morning Connecticut weekend section.